Alrighty, y'all. Let's get crack-a-lackin' like it's cool here. Continuing on with example number 5. So we're going to take the derivative dy dx by implicit differentiation. And all that basically means is we're not going to solve for y. We're going to take the derivative with x and y all together. And then we'll solve for y prime because we'll have some y primes or just one y prime floating around in here. Okay. So let's start with this dude right here. So take the derivative of sine of x. And so that means you get cosine of x plus 6, right? This is just a coefficient. Now, the derivative of cosine is negative sine, right? So negative sine of 9y. But then we have to times that then by the derivative of 9y because we're doing our chain rule. And the derivative of 9y is just 9. But wait a minute. Because we took the derivative of 9y with respects to x, you have to tack on a y prime. Okay? And that will be our goal now, is to actually solve for y prime. And the derivative of 2 is 0. So now our goal is just to solve for y prime. If we can solve for y prime, then we're done. Okay? So I'm going to move this cosine over here and multiply these together. So I'm going to move this over here and multiply these guys. So 6 and 9 gets us 54 y prime times, actually this is a negative right here, right? Times a sine of 9y equals a negative cosine of x. Okay, so again, all I did was I put this cosine of x over here, and I multiplied 9y prime times 6 and the negative there. So now let's just solve for y prime. If I solve for y prime, all I'm going to do is divide by negative 54 sine of 9y. So that means y prime must be equal to cosine of x all over 54 sine of 9y. And a negative divided by negative is a positive. And there it is. Okay, let's go on to something a tad bit hairier, to say the least. To say the least. We want to find now the equation, oh boy, of the tangent line to the graph of the function given the point below. So we want to find the equation of the tangent line that touches this once, that goes through this point. So that tells me that we have to find the derivative, right? Plug in this value in here to find what the slope is, and then use our point slope formula to find that equation. Now, I don't know about you here, but I don't want to solve for y, right? That's going to be really hard to actually get y by itself. So it seems to me that we're going to want to solve or find the slope by implicit differentiation. And let's get going with this dude right here, okay? Put on your boots. It may start raining down this mug. Okay, so take the derivative of this. So 7x squared. Again, so when we do this, we're doing dy over dx, which means anytime that we take the derivative of a y, we have to tack on the y prime to show that, oh, it was actually with respect to x, okay? 7x squared, derivative of this, 14x. Don't try to creep, right? Now we got to take the derivative of negative 4xy. So we have two separate terms here. Looks like we're going to have to use the product rule. So I'm going to do minus 4, and then in brackets, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to do f prime g plus g prime f. Or I'm sorry, f prime g plus g f prime, okay? So if my f is my prime, so the derivative of x is just 1. So it's 1 times g, which is y. So it's just going to be y, okay? And then plus g. So g is my x. I'm going to put x. And then f prime. F is y. So the derivative of y is 1. But then if you take the derivative of y, which is 1, you have to tack on a y prime. So y prime. Okay, so this whole thing is the derivative of this guy. All right? Plus the derivative of 3y squared is 3. Oh, wait. Not 3 there. Let me just erase that. Do that over again. Okay, so it's 2 times 3 is 6y. But wait a minute. We take it with respect to x. So tack on a y prime. The derivative of negative 27 is just 0 equals, and the derivative of 0 is just 0. Okay, so I guess it isn't too bad, I suppose. I don't know. Our goal now is to solve for y prime, right? Anytime we take the derivative implicitly, we want to find y prime. So let's manipulate and try to get y prime by itself. I'm going to distribute right now. So 14x minus 4y minus 4xy prime plus 6y y prime equals 0. I'm going to move these two terms over here. And I'm going to factor out my common factor. So watch this. I'm going to factor out a y prime. And does it make sense why I'll have a negative 4x plus 6y? See that right there? I just factor out a y prime, but then I'm going to move these two guys over here. So that's then we will have a 4y and then a minus 14x. And obviously our last thing now is to get rid of this right here. So let's just divide by it. So y prime is going to be equal to 4y minus 14x all over negative 4x plus a 6y. And there we go. This right here represents the slope of the tangent line of this. I don't even want to call it a function of this graph right here. I don't even know it's really a function. I mean, we can kind of test that. But so that's what the tangent line is. So basically what we want to do now is we want to plug in our value of x and y into here. Because what that will tell us is what is the slope at that given point here, okay? So I'm going to come over here now. I'm going to go, actually, I'll just go and scroll down here. I'm going to find y prime at the point 1, negative 2. So what happens if I plug in 1 and negative 2? So let's do that. 4 times y minus 14 times x all over negative 4 times x plus 6 times y, negative 2. All right, and after you do all that mumbo jumbo, you should get 11/8. Okay, and you can make that a decimal as well. I don't know if I did that on my calculator. What's that? 1.375. Okay, so either one, right? So now that we have the slope and we have a point, right? We have, let's see, let me just highlight this. So we have a slope and we have a point. We can now find the equation of the line that's tangent and that goes through that point right there. All right, cool beans. So let's go ahead and finish that guy off then, all right? So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Going back to our Algebra 1 days. Oh, I wish I was in algebra. That was easy. Nah, easy stuff's not fun. You want to get challenges. Heck yeah. So let's see. Y minus, let's see, my y1 right here is negative 2. Negative 2 equals my m, which was 11/8. And then x minus 1. Plug out all that in. So that means you're going to do y plus 2 and then subtract it and all that. And I guess then we would get 11/8 x minus 27/8. And you could also put that in decimal form if you did 1.375 and then minus 3.3 or something like that. That would also give you the correct answer as well. Voila.